marvellous actor. I think he was a fraud in some respects, I'll say that with all sincerity. But he was a wonderful actor, and he played a great part, and he was a terrific poet at the time, and he was able to be very inspired by a lot of the things that I and my friends and people around him who worked with him gave him at the time. And I don't ever deny everybody's, including Steve Jones and Sidney and all the guys, everybody made a great contribution. Not one of us on our own could have ever have created such a mammoth event and a great phenomenon as the Sex Pistols were. With other cases and jobs that I've got involved in, I've been probably a lot more mercenary, and those haven't been quite as inspiring because of that. I've always found that the people never quite rose to the occasion as the Sex Pistols. The Sex Pistols was a wonderful piece of chemistry that you just couldn't invent. You couldn't manipulate it. What you did do, or what I did do, was make sure that I hid in the toilet when I knew an explosion was going to occur, and allowed it to occur rather than pretending to be the responsible manager and trying to douse the flames. I never did that. I always made the flames rise as high as they could, and then would come out and say, "God, what's going on here?" And the gentleman concerned, Wrecker, coming around, said, "What did you think?" And I would sort of utter the words, "Well, boys will be boys." And that was that was my contribution.
Hello again, our guests this morning are Nigel Planer and Malcolm McLaren, who's just flown in from Los Angeles to present Channel 4's The Big Tube. Let's take a little bit of a look at it now, and he's looking at cars again, I think. Great stuff, but what worries me, Malcolm, about you is I've got a feeling you're getting a bit respectable in your old age. Television presenter? Conversing.
That's not respectable, is it?
Well, it's near. We try, don't we?
I thought that the idea of that was that England had given me 5 hours live television time to go crazy. I mean, I could never resist such an opportunity, and I look forward to, obviously, not necessarily being terribly polite, but being a hell of an aggravating sod come Friday night, and hopefully entertain you in the process.
But it might not have happened a few years back, Malcolm. Aren't you a bit worried that you're moving a little bit near the establishment now? I gather you're contracted to a Hollywood studio, aren't you? Or a Los Angeles studio, anyway.
Absolutely. More power
This is
to the
dangerous.
Eh?
This is dangerous.
No, not at all.
And apparently you're going to move into a house that was once owned by Cecil B. DeMille, aren't you?
Well, somebody's got to live there, and I thought, you know... I mean,
but everybody
can't
does that.
find a flat in London, not for the likes of me.
What's it like, this Cecil B. DeMille house?
Well, I mean... The
Expensive.
extraordinary thing in Hollywood, every house has a past. I suppose every house in London has a past. There's ones in Hollywood just seem the past seems more sexy. Well, you know, lots of goings on. And everything they say about Hollywood is probably true. And I discovered when I rented this house that had this incredible air raid shelter. And I went down into it. It was like underneath the house, and there in it were these big old water fountains and all these notices telling you how to survive for the next 4 weeks as soon as the bomb comes. And there's obviously paranoia in the 50s because stacked up against these water tanks were all these old melody makers circa 1955 onwards. And I then discovered that my next door neighbour was a guy called Patrick McNee. And,
Adventurous man.
yeah, and I realised that the newspapers, the melody makers were his. So, you know, I don't know.
Just wondering.